In this video, we will talk about configuring the location of steps within a JumpSeat guide. You might remember, the very first thing we did back when we first added a step to our guide was to use the element picker tool to select an item for a step to reference. However, you always have the option to update this if needed by using the Location tab within the JumpSeat console. Let's take a look at the location configuration for this first tooltip. You can see here the code associated with the item we selected when we first created this step. To update this, we can simply click this pencil icon and reselect another element on the page. You can see how the code updates. The delay find area allows you to create a delay between when the user activates the next step and when the next step actually appears. This is useful, for example, if you know a page requires a few seconds to load and you don't want the tooltip to load before the page does, or when you want to provide some time for the user to view the items on the web page before the tooltip appears. You can delay up to 5 seconds. URL validation lists the URL where this tooltip will appear. However, if you want JumpSeat to ignore the URL and appear on any page, you can select Ignore URL from the drop-down menu. This could be useful for an introductory orphan step because it will begin the guide on whatever page the user is currently on. It's also useful when referencing items which appear on any page, such as items on the global navigation bar. Whole URL enforces that a user is on a particular page within the application. If the user is not already there, JumpSeat will navigate to that page, which is a great feature to help users navigate through an application. This is useful for common or global areas of an application in which all users of the guide have access to. However, be careful with this option. This is the most restrictive and the least flexible validation because the tooltip will only appear if a user is on the exact URL. For situations where you want to validate only a part of the URL, you can select Without Anchors or Without Parameters. This is great, for example, if you want to build flexibility into your guides so that tooltips can appear regardless of any specific parameter value. For instance, URLs that may be specific to only one user or one specific object within an application. Let's look at another example. I built this tooltip on a specific projects page in Workfront. Each project in Workfront has a specific ID value, as you can see here. However, I want to make sure that my tooltip appears for any user on any project in Workfront. So I've chosen Ignore Parameter to build this flexibility into my guide. In this video, we have reviewed the configuration options related to the location of a step in a guide.